to our QuickBooks Wednesday webinars. Trying to remember our series name here. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to go ahead and get started. We are going to talk about Webgility. I want to talk to everyone about our 4 uniques here at Fourlane. We are the #1 QuickBooks reseller. We also know ERP and being able to maximize QuickBooks, so get the full potential out of any system that you are wanting to be in. We're experts in accounting and software, right? Not just one or the other. We are experts in both. And then we're also here to be your strategic partner for change management. Sometimes it is hard to accept the change, but we want to be here every step of the way to help you through that journey. I want to remind everyone of our YouTube channel. You can find tons and tons of videos that we have done just like this webinar, and a ton of other videos as well. So you can use it as learning tips and tricks, how to solve anything that you need. And also our Facebook group, Fourlane QuickBooks Enterprise. You can find us there, get access to partners, join in conversations with your peers as well. Okay. Fourlane on-demand support. So I just want to remind everyone that we still offer this. It's been something that a lot of users have been excited that we have brought and made available. So if you are interested in it, you can always contact us here at Fourlane, and we will be able to help provide on-demand support for you and your team. So I have John with me today. So just to make sure everyone knows, I am Alicia Delancey here at Fourlane, partner at Fourlane, and I've got John with me from Webgility. John, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. Definitely looking forward to the upcoming videos and the partnership that we have.
Awesome. Well, just so that everyone knows, John and his team kind of came out to our company event, and it was really awesome. And from that, kind of, put this webinar into place, basically, and hopefully a lot more to come. But we have a wonderful partnership with Webgility. A lot of my clients are using Webgility, and so we want to take some time today to show everybody just how awesome this product really is. And so John's going to be talking and discussing, the features of it. I am going to go ahead and make you the presenter. So we'll get that over to you. And we're going to go ahead and let John dive right into all the cool features about Webgility and the benefit.
Awesome. Thanks again for having us. We're, again, really, really excited to continue in the partnership and get some more videos and hopefully webinars in the future with you guys. Today I wanted to kind of start with an introductory, I guess, course on what Webgility is, what we're about, and how the software works. This is going to be higher level, so not too in the weeds, not really deep into the specific workflows that a business might use. But in the future, we will go into more of those like corner case, maybe niche uses. So again, my name's John May. I am the video engagement manager for Webgility. I've been here for just over a year. I started out in implementations, did a little bit of data analytics, and now I make the YouTube content for Webgility and now webinars. So to kick it off, just to give a little bit of context on the business itself, Parag Mamnani is the CEO. Born in India and moved to the US for school. Right after school, he, with his brother, started the business for ECommerce Accounting. And the mission for Webgility has always been to make accounting easier. We, as a race, the human race is always trying to automate things and make things easier, and that extends into accounting as well. Obviously, there's a lot of manual processes and things that take up not just like the business owner's time, but the accounting team's time. And the goal has always been to make that easier. So you can see our mission and our core values on our website as well, but just wanted to give you a little bit of insight as to who we are, kind of what we stand for. Really just, we want to make things easier for everybody. So what is e-commerce accounting? What do we do? How does it work? So we provide multi-channel support. We have 40 plus integrations with different storefronts, marketplaces, shipping providers, payment processors, and then a handful of accounting software as well. Namely being QuickBooks. QuickBooks Enterprise is a large majority of our customer base, but with Fourlane also offering support for NetSuite, we're kind of dipping our toes into that area as well here in the future. So NetSuite is on the horizon for us. We provide simple, like one-click syncing into QuickBooks. So whether it be order syncing, inventory, or price syncing, you're able to kind of move that inventory to make sure that it's correct on both ends, either from your store or from accounting. For those of you that might use Shopify payouts or do expenses directly through Amazon through reconciliation, we offer support for those reconciliation processes as well. Inventory management and automation, we're able to make and transfer listings between your store and QuickBooks if you're trying to create new items in your Shopify or transfer items from your Shopify to QuickBooks. You can do that through the app as well. And then things like sales tax compliance and shipping workflows. So really just kind of touching everything that your online store might touch and pulling as much information as we can from that online store into QuickBooks to make that accounting process a lot more simple. We've been in business for over 10 years, 5,000 plus customers, 10 million plus inventory automation, and 35 million plus orders. So a little bit under the hood. As you can see on the right-hand side, we've got a kind of an image of what the product looks like. This is just to show that you can track orders and post them as revenue inside of QuickBooks. The overall goal is to keep accurate accounting for you by syncing any fees, expenses, orders, refunds, and settlements all in that one settlement cycle. And we do this by tracking and posting payment processor fees. If you have a payment processor that you can connect to, like Shopify Payments or PayPal, you get the idea. And then same thing with the shipping costs. So we connect to Indicia, USPS, UPS, FedEx, all the big ones. And then we kind of like a corner case or something that maybe might not be utilized by as many people, but we do support bundles, kits, groups, and assemblies. I know those are all generally pretty complicated things to manage inside of QuickBooks, especially when you're trying to communicate those items from your online store into QuickBooks. We support that process and kind of make that process easier by automating it. So a little bit of an insight into how the syncing works. The system will see what is out of sync, whether it be via inventory or price. And as you can see on the right-hand side, you'll see in red, anything that's in red is not synced either by price or by quantity. And you can just select what you want to sync, choose which side you want to sync from or to. Generally, we always recommend using QuickBooks as your master data for obvious reasons, right? QuickBooks should be where the correct information is. But once you select your master data, you can then select what you want to sync, either price, quantity, or both, and then synchronize.
Oh, can we look at that really fast? So when you do one or the other, right, like it will just sync in that information. But if you do both, right, then both of those will come from whatever the data is that's populated in Webgility, right? So that's important for a lot of our clients, right? To know they want prices in QuickBooks, potentially like price rules to kind of like, you know, take over inside the system, or if it's really going to come from like their online store or whatever, right? So it's important for people to know that there are options. Sorry.
Correct. Yeah, no, that's good. That's a good insight. Yeah, you can choose if you want quantity or price or both if you would like to do them both at the same time. And then actually, kind of as an aside, you're able to, in the application, select if you'd like to ignore price or quantity. So if you know that your quantity is always going to be incorrect because of some fulfillment workflow that you have, you can basically tell Webgility to disregard the quantity if it's incorrect, so that you'll only ever see the price inconsistency. Kind of another one of those things that maybe doesn't get utilized a whole lot, because generally people do want both the price and the quantity synced, but it is an option. So yeah, a lot of different options, a lot of ways that you can kind of fit it around your workflow. Another note is that this, I guess, UI, this visualization has changed a little bit since this screenshot was taken. The functionality is the exact same, but now the price and quantity are kind of kept separately, so that you're choosing basically to sync one or the other at a time, to avoid any confusion, basically.
Awesome. Yeah, so like, sometimes people, they don't want to go do an integration like this because maybe their inventory is quantities are negative or something like that, right? So just to kind of add, we can always work with you on correcting your inventory inside the system so that you can have accurate data, right? But that doesn't mean don't go implement this for the automation until that's done. We can go ahead and implement, at least bring through prices, right, or whatnot. So you don't have to like wait, basically, is what I was getting at.
Yeah, that's another good point. When it comes to automation, like the best starting point is to have accurate data, obviously. A lot of times we get customers that come to us and they don't have accurate data at all, which is, it's just going to happen. There's going to be people that their books are maybe a mess, their inventory is all over the place, they don't have SKUs that match their items inside of their online store, so they don't really communicate or mesh very well together. But it's always a good time to start. So yeah, definitely don't wait. If automation is something that you feel is going to help your business, having that inventory in line first is always a good thing, but don't feel like you need to do one before the other. It's always just like starting at any point is the best starting point, I feel like. And so that brings me to the next point, which is you can manage your catalog directly through Webgility. I know I mentioned you can transfer products to or from your store in QuickBooks. So with stores like Shopify or Amazon, and I use those examples a lot because they're our most used stores. Using stores like those, you can transfer not only things like the item name, the description, the purchase description, price, quantity, all the basic stuff. But if you're transferring to QuickBooks, you can have it automatically affiliate to an item type. It can automatically go to a specific COGS account, income account. So you're setting all that information before it even hits QuickBooks. So if you're transferring from your online store into QuickBooks, you can make the whole process easier by using this tool to kind of put the accounts data in there automatically for you. And kind of conversely, if you're transferring from QuickBooks into your store, things like the size and color of your t-shirt, if you're selling t-shirts or anything with a variant or an attribute, you can put that information in as well, define those attributes, and when you transfer them into Shopify, it will create the listing with that information in mind. So it'll have that drop down with the size and the color and whatever attribute you defined in Webgility. But similar to the syncing feature that I just showed, you select whatever you want to transfer to or from QuickBooks, as you see up here at the top, and make sure the information is correct. This should auto-populate down here with the item, sales description, and purchase description if it exists. But once you've saved it, then you hit transfer, and it pushes all that information. After a little bit of loading and kind of back-end magic, it'll push it into the store for you. I know I mentioned that we do integrate with shipping processors. This is something that's kind of, I don't want to say a dying art, but something that's not as utilized recently, because most shipping carriers and shipping services operate at like a free basis now. So there's generally no need to use any outside resource for it. But the capability still is there inside of Webgility, and it is included in some of our plans. So if you want to kind of keep everything in one place, using our shipping module makes printing shipping labels and things of that nature a lot easier. You can connect your label printer and set your service types, package sizes, and kind of set your own shipping rules so that if certain products get bought in certain quantities, you can have it automatically default to a specific box size or a specific shipping rate and stuff like that. So gives you a lot of flexibility and control over how you want to ship items, and keeps it all in that one centralized location. You can also send tracking information from within Webgility. So if you download an order from Shopify, you get it shipped, you get the shipping information from the carrier, you can put that information into Webgility and kind of automate the posting of it back to the store so that it sends that shipping information straight back to the customer for you.
Yeah,
so what is automate? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to get off mute. A lot of my clients will ask about that. So it's really important to, I'm glad that you brought it up. It's really important to know that the tracking information does come through. So, yep.
Yeah, it is something that a lot of people maybe aren't even aware of, that it exists in Webgility, because of, I mean, with Webgility, there's obviously a lot going on in any accounting process, so it's easy to miss those little things here and there that might make your life easier. Which is where I come in. I make YouTube videos to make all of this process easier, kind of point out features here and there. So if you're interested in Webgility at all, go to the YouTube channel. We have a lot of content there as well. And when we're talking about automation, it's a good thing to point out what automation really does. Like from a high level, kind of zoom out a little bit and see what it does for not just you, but for your business and for the employees that work for you. So automation obviously saves time and money. I mean, the whole point of automation is to kind of remove that human component of taking time to do something manually, taking out the errors, and making sure that everything is done in a consistent way. And with that in mind, the things that you can automate in Webgility include, and probably will include a lot more in the future, accounting and order posting. So taking those orders from Shopify, either by the click of a button in the system or by using our automation tool, the scheduler, which will pull it from the store on a timed interval. Automating your listings. So anytime you create new products in QuickBooks, you can set the system to automatically push those new listings into the store. Generally not one that we recommend, because a lot of times you want to go and pretty up the listing before you're posting it live, but it is an option nevertheless. Automating your inventory, both price and quantity wise, like we already talked about. Purchase orders are also something that a lot of people come to us for, because they maybe do a lot of like made to order business, or they need to obviously restock when things are running low. And it can be a time consuming thing to go in and make sure that your purchase orders are created in QuickBooks, if you don't know what is out of stock, and having to constantly monitor that yourself. So we can actually take those purchase orders whenever we see something is running out of stock, because we're posting the orders for you. We'll automatically create purchase orders for you in QuickBooks with whatever information you've deemed it necessary. And then all you have to do is kind of put the finishing touches on the purchase order and send it out. Shipping. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I want to jump in right there, because I think a lot of times people don't realize that is possible. And I think it's something like you just bringing that up is very valuable. Now, there are some clients are going to say like, oh, I may have other orders being entered in directly to QuickBooks. And so if you want to take advantage of like Webgility automatically, posting this for you, then what we would do here is we would work with you in design and basically talk about, right, the why, and using one kind of data entry point to put in all your orders, and then go ahead and push through, right? And take advantage of this automation that, like, obviously you're paying for it, right? Because it's there. The system's capable of doing it. So hopefully that will help several people that are on this webinar and others be able to identify, like, oh, I can actually save even more time and money by now having this automatically push in the purchase orders that I need for the week, the month, the whatever, right?
Yeah, and to kind of even double click on that further, you can define in Webgility which orders you want to be automatically created purchase orders for. So you can set it so that every single order that comes through automatically creates a purchase order if you do operate on like a made to order basis, and every single order does need to be a purchase order. Or you can set it so that only orders that are marked as drop shipping, because we have a drop shipping feature as well. So a lot of flexibility specifically to kind of work around people's workflows, because we know that when it comes to accounting, and especially e-commerce accounting, things are complicated, right? So a lot of workflows are different from business to business, because we all just kind of need to do what works for us. So again, a lot of flexibility. That purchase orders feature is huge for a lot of people. And shipping, we've already talked a lot about, but we can automate that download of the order and then post back to the tracking number for shipping confirmation to the customer, and then you can automate your shipping workflows. And then the last one here, marketplace fees and expenses. So a really important thing, especially for those that use Shopify payments or Amazon reconciliation. They send their expense reports, their reconciliation reports to you on a monthly basis, or whenever you have your settlement period. And reconciling that stuff manually is a lot of times just a really painful process. So we've kind of taken we've taken that and tried to make it as easy as possible. I mean, there's really no reality where reconciling Amazon fees is a fun thing to do, but we have taken it to a level where all you have to do is, since we're pulling in those orders for you, we can tell when that settlement report is accurately posted. We can tell when all of the transactions and fees and refunds and everything are posted in QuickBooks. So we can tell you that settlement is fully settled. So that tool is huge for Amazon users, specifically with how many hurdles Amazon makes you jump through to make that reconciliation process correct. So that's one that I definitely wanted to call out. It's kind of a cornerstone for Amazon sellers for us.
I have a question from an attendee, and their question is, they use Magento to manage all of their their websites, right? eBay, Amazon, and they upload QuickBooks inventory into Magento, which feeds into their website and market listings. Orders from all of the above go through Magento and download into QuickBooks through T-Hub. The question is, would Webgility replace T-Hub?
That's a good question. And we've actually had quite a few customers that are in the same scenario as you. In that case, yes, it would replace T-Hub. We've had people use both alongside each other to some success, though it would confuse me how that would be like an optimal workflow. But yeah, in this case, it would replace T-Hub outright, in my opinion. There's no use in having both at the same time. The functionality is very similar in kind of what they aim to do. It would just be up to you as far as like which one you prefer, basically.
Right. And normally my recommendation is Webgility, just because of, like, I've even had a customer need like customization, right? Very specific things that they wanted. And so we were able to work with the team at Webgility, and they did some customization, and it pushed through exactly, what they needed. It was very, very unique to their business. And so for that reason and a lot of other reasons, right, I always just recommend using Webgility. So I don't know if that helps your decision there, but hopefully it does answer the question of, yeah, Webgility would replace T-Hub. Okay. Sorry about that, John. I wanted to make sure we were addressing.
That's a really good question too. So, yeah, I mean, as far as T-Hub functionality goes, I know that their big selling point is that they pull orders from your website, and then it's shipping and posting solution. So they'll handle the shipping for you. Outside of that, I'm not sure how their inventory management works or how like the actual automation side of things goes when it comes to like syncing inventory and pricing. So there could be some differences there. I would look into maybe if you go to our website, you can see kind of like our feature set and see side by side how they work together. I've never used T-Hub personally, so I don't want to like obviously bash them or anything. I have no clue specifically what the differences are, but
Right.
it'd be good to just see side by side what they would do, because it could be that maybe you get more features from Webgility. I know one big thing that we've been working on a lot recently is making our user experience a lot more friendly, because with any of the e-commerce connectors is what we're called out there, the UI can get very heavy because you're dealing with accounting, because you're dealing with so many complex things. What you're looking at is always going to be a lot of information. So we've kind of taken a lot of steps to make that process as easy as possible. So that might be what differentiates us from everybody else, is that we're maybe the more user-friendly option.
Awesome. And then I have one more, and I know we're about 3 minutes left. So does Webgility connect with Amazon Vendor Central? I know there's a ton of Amazon, like sometimes I have clients and they'll say like, you know, it's Amazon, but it's like, well, which Amazon, right? So that specific was Amazon Vendor Central. And I'm sure if you don't know, John, we can always kind of get back with this attendee.
Yeah, I can, at the risk of leaving my depth a little bit, I don't want to say yes or no, because I know there's a lot of intricacies with Amazon specifically. I know FBA and FBM both are options through Webgility, and I'm assuming that it is something that we're able to do through Vendor Central, because that is a component of the FBA FBM conundrum. So yeah, we can follow up and just make sure that's correct. But as far as I know, yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll zoom through the rest of this real quick, because the rest of this is really light. So just to kind of paint a picture for how the business is impacted by automation, this just shows that no matter what position you're in at a business, at an e-commerce seller or a retail seller, it's good to have that automation, and it replaces or kind of automates out that manual work that you might be doing in any of these positions here.
And most companies have this need, especially nowadays, right? E-commerce. Yeah. Everybody wants to order online.
Yeah, and having all of that all kind of packaged in one place makes it a lot easier, rather than having to go to multiple places.
Absolutely.
I wanted to quickly give a couple real world scenarios just to give you some insight how this could affect you directly. So pretty common scenario would be having products on multiple channels and changing prices for sales and markdowns. It takes time, obviously. You're having to go between your Shopify, your Amazon, your BigCommerce to make sure that the prices are all matching what you have in QuickBooks or wherever your master data is. With Webgility, you can go in and sync those. I have a GIF in this one, so I feel really fancy. Needed to point that out. You just select what you want to sync, make sure the prices are synced, and you can make sure that price that's in QuickBooks is synced to all of your stores, so you don't have to worry about going into each store respectively.
Hands down, #1 reason. No, I'm just kidding.
And then another scenario, so the SKUs in my store don't match the item names in QuickBooks. It means you have to cross-reference things, make sure that there's no error in what you're putting in manually in QuickBooks. And that's just a pain, right? So in Webgility, you can, one, if you're transferring new items from your QuickBooks to your store, it can carry over that SKU or item name information so that you don't have to put that in. And it works vice versa as well. So if you're transferring from Shopify into QuickBooks, we can transfer any specific information to make sure that that item is coherent across platforms. And then any new orders that come in with that connection made will automatically affect the accounting and inventory. So you don't have to do any other work to make sure that when an order comes in, it deducts the inventory and everything correctly.
That's awesome. Well, I know that we are at time. I know we are going to plan on doing some more of these. Do you have one or two more?
Yeah, this is actually the last slide.
Okay.
So one last plug, one thing that I think everybody should look at, even if it's not with Webgility, is centralizing your data using an omni-channel data service for your e-commerce. Basically what that means is that it can pull your data just like the Webgility regular application does, where we pull from your store, we put it into QuickBooks. An omni-channel data centralization will pull all of your data from those stores and put it into a dashboard alongside your data from QuickBooks to see what your COGS is, like how many sales you have, the like highest rated products, the ones that are selling really well, the ones that are selling poorly. It just gives you a really good look into everything at a glance, so you don't have to pull information from multiple places. Webgility does have an answer to this, and it's called Webgility Intelligence. It can be an add-on to all of your plans if you have a plan with Webgility, or it can stand alone as well. So even if you don't use Webgility, you can still take advantage of Webgility Intelligence. So something I just wanted to point out there. And lastly, I wanted to thank everybody for attending. I know it's a lot of information to get through, and hopefully we have some more webinars and video content with Fourlane in the future, because there's a lot to say, obviously. But if you have any interest in getting a demo or just talking to the team, you can go to webgility.com. And actually, since we partnered with Fourlane, it might be easier to go directly through them and have them send the lead through us, so we can get everything kind of sorted out and take care of you guys.
Absolutely. Well, John, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for attending, everyone. We look forward to our upcoming future courses with everybody, and I hope everybody joins us next week. Thank you.
Thank you.